Hello friends, it's Jim O'Rear. Welcome back to Jim O'Rear's Wacky World. Today we are going over to Universal Studios Orlando to Halloween Horror Nights to look at another scare zone. If you've been watching the channel, we've been focusing on different scare zones and parts of Halloween Horror Night in little pieces in more detail. And if you don't know what a scare zone is, it is basically a section of the park that is filled with props and lighting and spooky things and monsters that you have to walk through to get from one part of the park to the other. And you encounter all these monsters. And this year it is themed after Dr. Oddfellow, the main character this year out there. And this is going to be Shipyard 32, Horrors Unhinged. Take a look. This is the Shipyard 32 Horrors Unhinged Scare Zone at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. And you'll see, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot going on here. I mean, there's a few monsters running around. The set pieces are not all that great. They're just a bunch of crates. This is the most impressive one that has this body that kind of goes in this chipper. And but the rest, I mean, you know, his mask is kind of cool, and his mask is kind of cool, but not a whole lot happening. There's a lot of boxes and things like that, like a ship has just, left some stuff there. There's Oddfellow's truck, and all the scare zones have an Oddfellow storyline running through them this year, with Oddfellow being the park's icon. But this is actually the coolest character in that whole scare zone. It's like this Batwoman, and it's pretty cool. It's and this costume was without the stilts, kind of used last year. There was something very, very similar to it last year in a different scare zone, but this is an improvement on it. And there she does a sexy pose. But it's like I say, it's not all that impressive, and I show you this in the day so that you can sort of see what the monsters look like in the day, and I will show you kind of what it looks like at night also, where it takes on a little different tone. But unfortunately, the Oddfellow storyline that runs through the event this year is a pretty interesting story, but it is just not fleshed out enough in reality. You know, a lot of people are going to come to this event and not know a whole lot about the storyline and what's going on, and they're going to walk through these and just go, okay, it's a bunch of boxes with monsters wandering around. This is what it looks like at night with some of those monsters and the lighting and the smoke effects that they use. But like I said, it's not that scary. There's nothing really interesting to look at. Not a whole lot happening. It's almost as if their scare zones this year were sort of an afterthought. They just kind of went, let's just put some stuff out there with some monsters and be done with it. Which is unfortunate, because they've had some really good scare zones in the past with a lot of interesting characters and props and things to look at, and things that were actually kind of scary and creepy. But I don't know what happened this year. There's the Batwoman again in the dark. Very, very cool on her side of things. But there you go. That's kind of what Shipyard 32 Horrors Unhinged looks like at Halloween Horror Nights this year. And like I say, it's okay, I guess. It's okay. That's about it. There you go. That's a look inside Shipyard 32, the scare zone over there at Halloween Horror Nights Universal Orlando this year. Not too much going on, really. It's okay. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, click that like button to let the powers that be know that you like the video. And while you're at it, click on follow or subscribe, and you'll be notified when I upload new videos. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.